Let us examine one of the many principles based on the user's guide, Your Word Have I Hidden in My Heart, called the Divide and Conquer principle. This principle states that to learn most scripture effectively, break them apart and see what you can do to make it easier for you to remember them. As you break them apart, look for the following techniques. Identify similarities and differences. Identify keywords. Identify logical results. Or create an acronym. First, let us identify similarities and differences within a passage. For example, Matthew 7:7 and 8, and Luke 11:9 and 10 says basically the same thing. However, if you examine this passage carefully, a distinct pattern of similarities and differences will begin to emerge. You will use these similarities and differences later to help you effectively learn this passage. Once you have identified similarities and differences, you can use them to identify primary and secondary keywords. For example, the primary keywords in this passage are ask, seek, and knock that are highlighted in bold and in all caps. And the secondary keywords are give, receive, find, and open that are highlighted in bold. Notice how these keywords are stacked on top one another in this example so that you can see the parallel between them. You can use these keywords as springboards for the remainder of the passage. Notice also how these keywords stand out among the other words to highlight important terms in these verses. Now that you've identified similarities and differences, primary and secondary keywords, let's turn our attention to identifying logical results among these keywords. The logical result of a specific word is the natural outcome of that particular word. For example, the logical result of asking is being given or receiving something. The logical result of seeking is finding something. And the logical result of knocking is something being opened. Now let's apply this technique to this scripture. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks, receives. And he who seeks, finds. And to him who knocks, it will be opened. Once you've identified the logical results of the keywords, you can easily derive the remainder of the passage by spinning off of the primary keywords and thinking of their logical results, which are the secondary keywords. Now that you've identified similarities and differences, primary and secondary keywords, and logical results, let's look at another way to learn some scriptures. Sometimes you can create an acronym to help you associate scriptures in your mind. For example, if you look at this passage again, you will discover that it forms the acronym ASK. Notice how the acronym ASK is the first keyword of these verses, but also the acronym for these verses. To reinforce verses in your mind, place emphasis on the primary and secondary keywords as you quote them. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks, receives. He who seeks, finds. And to him who knocks, it will be open.